Hi guys, I'm Shelley, welcome back to my channel and an episode of the Hormone Diaries. Haven't done one of these in a while. It's been a minute. Let's catch up. How are we all? Since I have been away, what has happened? Well, we now have free sanitary products in schools. Woohoo! Well done UK. Well done to everybody who has been doing that campaign for so long. I'm very happy for the smaller humans who now don't have to go through the embarrassment of going into school without sanitary products because they can't afford them, and school not having any. Now they do, thank goodness. But that is not the topic of today's video, but I'm just very happy about it. Today I want to talk about NHS health cuts for lots of different reasons. They are happening, they are affecting all of us, they are personally affecting me. It's one of the reasons why I haven't made a Hormone Diaries in a while. So for those of you who have not been here before, I'm Shelley. I have endometriosis, I have an endometrioma, I have PCOS because I decided to get all of them, and the NHS cuts to women's health are affecting me. One of the reasons I haven't made a video in a while is because I've been having severe health issues, including endometriosis, and I haven't really known when to talk about it or how to start talking about it. It's not that it's difficult to talk about, it's that it's an ongoing process. So when do I stop the process and go, okay, this is happening? So I have endometriosis, which causes me a lot of pain. And when I first discovered this, I was put under a consultant at my local hospital, and they would have me in once a year to scan me, keep an eye on my cyst, because I have a cyst on my left ovary, make sure it hasn't turned cancerous, make sure it hasn't got worse. Are there any new treatments, or is there anything they can offer me to help me with the pain and help me with the heavy periods? Everything was not great, but I had NHS help. Then I became severely ill in other ways, and because of severe weight loss, my reproductive system shut down. And so I was discharged from NHS care when it came to endo clinics, when it came to endometriosis and everything else, which is fair enough because I didn't need to see a doctor. That was the least of my worries. Then I became healthy again, and the endometriosis flared back up because my period started again, hence why I started the Hormone Diaries, to document the process of coming back to health and everything that comes with it when it comes to female reproductive systems. I went to my doctor and I said, obviously the endometriosis is causing problems again, I'm having periods again, can I please be re-referred back to my local hospital and go back into endo clinic? That was 3 years ago. 4 years ago? Possibly 5. I'm not good with maths. How long? It was a while ago. None of my past notes had been kind of added on, so I was a brand new person to them. Meeting with a doctor who said, well, you don't want the coil for reasons of past. I've had one in the past and it didn't go well. My body rejected it. My body rejects the pill, so you can't go on the pill. We have nothing else to offer you. We're going to discharge you. I was like, okay, that's not what's happened before. You've always kept an eye on it, and what if it gets worse? Or, do I just come back if it gets worse? What situation do I have here? She's just like, well, we don't have the staff, we don't have the doctors to cover you unless you are actually really friggin' ill. And this has continued for a couple of years now. Every single year I have phoned my GP and asked for a scan. My GP is flummoxed as to why they won't take me on board, why they won't just automatically give me a scan every year. It's been a whole muddle. That's everybody caught up to the point where I had a cancer scare. Now, I had been experiencing more and more pain with my endometriosis for a while. The cancer scare kind of trumped that, and I had to deal with that first. But after all that stress had calmed down a little, I contacted my GP and said, look, I'm experiencing some pain, a lot of pain. My periods have expanded from what is normally 5 to 7 days to 7 to 10 days of very heavy bleeding. The ovulation pain once a month is mind-bogglingly bad, and it's crippling me. There's 2 weeks, if not 3 weeks out of the month where I'm useless because I'm dealing with period or endometrioma pain or whatever, and the bloating is ridiculous. Sent me for my annual scan, and while I was there, the technician's going, are you under an endo doctor? No, I'm not. Why not? Because they have discharged me all the time. She's like, well, that's very strange because I'm looking at this endometrioma on your left ovary, and I think it should be checked on. And obviously you're in pain and you've told me about the periods are heavier, you should be seeing a specialist for this. She wrote that in the report, went back to the GP. The GP once again said, I don't know why they won't take you, but we'll re-refer you once again. So I've once again been referred back to hospital. This is a very long ramble, but this is how daft it's gotten. It's like Chinese whispers. My GP, the technician, both have to write letters to even get me an appointment at the local endo clinic. And this is where it gets really stupid. I live at the Bristol-South Gloucestershire border. I am very, very lucky sometimes in that position. I get a big choice of hospitals to go to. I'm very, very grateful for that. 10 years ago, when I originally found the endometrioma, I had the choice of 4 different clinics. 2 in South Gloss, 2 in Bristol. Over the years, that had been whittled down to 3, and now to 2. Because of cuts. One hospital has disappeared completely, they've bulldozed it, it's gone, so now we're left with 2. One is the main hospital and one is a very specific maternity gynecological specialist hospital. So obviously I want to go to that one if I can. It's very difficult to get to. I've never been there before and maybe they won't discharge me. The main hospital is the hospital that keeps discharging me. I am referred somewhere by my GP. I am sent a letter which has a website on it and a referral number, and I can go in and I can pick which clinic I go to. Again, very lucky. And I can pick an appointment date. Appointments are released every Friday. They are released 2 months in advance and a week at a time. So basically, if you went online in November, you would get an appointment for January and there'll be a week of appointments you could pick from. And every Friday another week is released. I have been trying to book an appointment since November. I've only just done it now, which is mid-February. Every single Friday morning since November, I've been up online at 10 a.m. trying to get an appointment. So like most people would wake up to get Glastonbury tickets, My Chemical Romance tickets, you know, fun things like, oh, I've got to wake up and get my tickets at 10 a.m. I've been waking up to get a hospital appointment at 10 a.m. logging in and them all being gone. I can be online pressing refresh at 10 a.m. Give me it, give me it, give me it, like you would for a Jeffree Star palette. Trying to get an appointment at a hospital I'm not even really that keen on, because the main hospital, the gynecological, brilliant hospital, doesn't have any appointments at all. That's just not an option. They've had none for months. I'm there pressing refresh and by the time I get there they're all gone. And it wasn't till beginning of February that I managed to nab one of those appointments for May. It's another 2 months before I see a doctor. Meanwhile, I am in immense pain for at least 3 weeks out of the month. Could it be something bad? Is it just endo playing up? I have no idea. Are my hormones funny again? Do I need to have a blood test and it could show that my PCOS is playing up? I don't know, and I won't find out for another 2 months, and I've been trying to get a doctor to look at this since November. And this is where the NHS cuts have come in. There are no appointments anymore. The main clinic that I'm going to used to run an endo clinic every single morning, 5 days a week. Now they only run it 2 days a week. It's absolutely ridiculous, because chances are I will go into this clinic, they will say, we can't put you on the pill, we can't give you a coil, so go home. I will more than likely get discharged once again. I mean, if I'm lucky I won't. I'm really hoping that I won't. But this is where NHS cuts have just taken away clinics. So the whole of Bristol and South Gloucestershire are getting covered by basically one clinic that runs 3 mornings a week. It's just ridiculous. I can't even, I mean, and I'm the lucky one who actually has a clinic. I know a few people who just, when they go online to book their referral, there are no clinics in their area. They have to travel for miles and miles and miles to get to see a gynecologist. And we've known this for a long time with mental health and with other things. It's bonkers. My GP is doing the best she can. The people who scan me are doing the best they can. The doctors are doing the best they can. I mean, I can't even think about what it's like to be that overwhelmed as a doctor. I'm not blaming them. The receptionists have tried to be lovely. I phoned them a couple of times going, is there any way you can just bypass the system and get me an appointment? And they said, I'm sorry, even we don't have access to our systems anymore. They are under so much stress. I feel for all the staff so much, because they're getting the wrath of everybody. I've tried not to put it on them because it's not their fault. This is where NHS cuts have just shut down hospitals. So that's where I'm at the moment in my personal journey. And why I haven't been around so much is because I'm in a lot of pain and I don't have a doctor. This has been a very big rant. But yeah, that is basically what is going on. I'd love to hear from everybody else. Are you having problems with clinics? Are your appointments being cut, or you're not being able to get into a clinic and be a permanent patient of theirs because you're not an emergency, because they don't have the spaces in which to take you on board? I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what's happened, is that they have so many patients now that they can't keep on the people who aren't an emergency unless you are treatable completely, or unless you have a burst cyst, which is a theory I have right now, but I'm trying not to panic. Like, I'm trying not to think, I have a burst cyst, I have a burst cyst, I have a burst cyst. I'm trying not to panic. But unless you have that kind of emergency, they just can't see you. It's a bit mental out there at the moment. I hope everybody else is okay. Yeah, I'm going to try and bring the Hormone Diaries back if I can, and cover other topics. In fact, I have just been given a book called the Vagina Bible, and I'm gonna read it, and then I want to talk to you about it because I think it's gonna be enlightening and I think it's gonna be brilliant. I'm going to link down below a TED talk about periods that I found the other day and I want to do a video on, but my head's not in that place right now. But I will link it down below. If just mind-boggling, if you have periods or if you're a person who owns a womb, please watch it, because we go through labour once a month and I didn't know this. It's fascinating. Check it out down below. But anyway, I hope you guys are good, and I will see you guys soon, hopefully, for another Hormone Diaries. Bye.